What's up, everybody? Today we're going to talk about an article released by Variety, uh, where in which Anne Sarnoff, from Warner Media, talks about the future of the DC universe. And I said, and I will say it again. So one of the things that was said here is, first and foremost, that they are happy that they released the Snyder Cut because they're happy that Zack was able to finish his vision, but they basically said they have no plans to move forward as far as continue that storyline. And not only that, they're talking about these other projects that they're working on, and mainly this stuff that most people didn't even ask, bringing J.J. Abrams into the picture, with the storyline of Superman that no one wants to see it yet because we're not done with our Superman yet. Zack Snyder only had Man of Steel. We don't even have another Man of Steel film. Superman was not even a lot in this version of Justice League, and apparently going forward is where it was going to be the big Superman movie. And it just baffles me that something that is so successful, Warner Brothers just decides to turn their back on it. It doesn't make any sense, and they're just using the same narrative of toxic fandom. Have they not learned anything from Star Wars? I mean, it feels like they want to get into the same route of Disney, Star Wars, and Lucasfilm, that they were in this war with the fans. People hated the films. The ratings were really bad. And at the same time, then we have The Mandalorian that start bringing people back into the universe, and then more and more drama again with the firing of Gina Carano and all of that stuff. And it just makes me think, why would Warner Media do the same thing here and try to label fans as toxic again? Yes, of course, every single fandom there will be a few people that will be stupid online and doing all these death threats and all this stuff that obviously it's awful, and I do not, I think these people are stupid and they should be ignored. I'm not talking about that kind of people, but generally the movie is really good, it's well received, and it just makes me really sad. It's like a punch in the gut because so far all they have done is destroying the DC universe, with terrible decisions. What they did with Justice League 2017, they own it to us to give us a Zack Snyder vision. We all know, the critics even agree, and not even the fans as well. The scores are really high that this is a much better film, and the vision isn't finished, and people are willing to pay money for it. People want to see this vision accomplished. We want to see more Superman. Now, I'm not going to say I'm in favor of all Zack Snyder's ideas, because sometimes I think that's how a movie works, where someone has an idea, but it's a collaborative work, and people are going to say this is not going to work. But, that whole idea of the dark side coming back to look for the anti-life equation, something like that. I mean, that's the kind of stuff we want to see. Why do they want to focus on individual films where it's not even a must-see? It just doesn't make any sense. They're so behind Marvel, and they're just trying so bad to be Marvel, even though DC is a completely different thing, and it should be a completely different thing. And what really pisses me off of this whole thing over here is that pretty much what she's doing is labeling fans, the Snyder Cut fans, as, again, the toxic fandom. But we're moving on and blah, yada, yada, yada. But, what does she have to say about Ray Fisher's allegations? Because isn't it weird that all the characters of color were pretty much butchered in Josh Whedon's version? Why they were cut out? I mean, we clearly see that Zack Snyder's vision for Justice League was that Cyborg was supposed to be a huge character. We got to see what he's actually capable of doing. We had no idea of that in Josh Whedon's film. He was cut out big time, and all the other characters of color, they were barely in it. So, and then they're just going to dismiss it, that they all know it wasn't racially motivated and yada, yada, yada. Please give me a break. I just find that it's really hard to be a DC fan when you have this kind of people in charge. You know, they have no idea, they have no vision, and the biggest problem here is that the people in charge of DC right now are executive people. They are not creatives, they're not fans of the comic books, and they couldn't give two craps about the fandom or the fans. People want to pay money to watch these things, they want to support these things, but they want good movies. You know, they want the story that was promised. And like I said, I was never the biggest fan of the Snyderverse, but after I saw the 4-hour cut of Justice League, I loved it. I thought it was just such a good film, and I could understand where he's going. And I just think that it's really, really annoying that they would greenlit another Wonder Woman film after the disaster that the last one was. But this one that is a complete success, the fans really love, you know, and they want to see the vision completed, they just want to ignore. I mean, it just does not sound like a really good business decision. I'm having this horrible Star Wars flashbacks all over again, you know, with my favorite things. And Superman is my favorite character of all time. And I just don't think we saw justice to this character, not yet, you know. One movie with Superman, solo Superman, isn't enough. And then we have BVS, which wasn't really focused on Superman. It was more about setting up the Justice League. And then Justice League, we didn't see a lot of Superman. And now they want to go in a different direction with other characters that no one is asking. Why do they keep doing this kind of stuff? You know, it's just so irritating, especially when they have like something that is successful in their hands. It's extremely disappointing. And obviously they are saying this now, but the same thing was said of the Snyder Cut if we go back in time. And later on, they ended up just, it happened with the fan movement and all of that. And I just think that creating a war with the fans, it's not a good idea. Because Zack Snyder said on an interview that the studios are afraid that the fans are taking control of the movies. But in one hand, I don't see it that way, because what the fans want is just to see Zack Snyder's vision realized. You know, and it was not just Justice League. There's more to it, you know. And just the fact that they want to do this other stuff and other characters, it doesn't mean that they can't do both, especially if you're working with something that is the multiverse. Why could you please both? You know, the multiverse is the lead way to do all of the storylines that they want to do. So there is no excuse here, you know. And now to keep blaming fans that they're toxic just because a few idiots are on Twitter calling for death threats, people that, you know, they're trolls, and they want to focus on those kind of people, not the general people that actually just love these films and they want to support these films. This is just extremely a slap in the face, and is extremely irritated. And once again, Hollywood doing stupid decisions. You know, like, you should do what the fans want. That doesn't mean that you're just having the fans having control, but you've been doing stupid things with these films over and over again. You know, people want to see Henry Cavill back. This guy trends every time we see Superman. Like, he's the perfect Superman. And why don't we have another movie? Why aren't you focusing on that? No, because you want to do your virtual signal. That's what you want to do. You know, you just want to be the fake token characters. That just make your stories organic. And oh gosh, why? And it's so ironic, because they cut out all the characters of color in Justice League, and then they keep saying, oh, we want to, oh, shut up. Just stop being stupid. You know, this kind of stuff just makes being a DC fan really hard and really annoying. And as I scroll down this article, it's even more and more annoying that this woman is in charge there, you know, because it feels like she's fighting with HBO Max, I guess, because, you know, they're talking to HBO Max, but perhaps the Snyder Cut could happen, or the Snyderverse could happen in the streaming service. That's definitely a possibility. But what she's saying here to me doesn't make sense, because just because they want to do something different and they want to work with the multiverse, that doesn't mean you can't continue the Snyderverse. You know, that doesn't mean we cannot see the end of the whole dark side storyline. And these films are they're connected one to the other. that's what is so interesting, because you have to watch all of them, and this is what makes this a big event. That's what Marvel did. But at the same time that they want to copy Marvel's success, they just don't know. They keep messing up, you know. It's just extremely annoying. And Aquaman was a huge success. The first Wonder Woman was a huge success. The second one, not so much. And it's all thanks to Zack Snyder. And they keep saying, oh, we're very thankful to Zack for what he accomplished. But basically, they want to move away from it. And my question is, why? Why, if people really want to see this vision? Why? That doesn't mean that you cannot do other stuff, you know? If you want to create the multiverse and do different things, Flashpoint is the lead way to do that. Just do the Flashpoint storyline and that's it. And then you can create this. I mean, even in the Snyder Cut, it was already mentioned, the multiverse storyline, right? So we understand that you don't have to say this is canon, when everything exists on its own timeline. Now, people are not going to accept another Superman, not just yet. Just believe me, we will see how it's going to be the fan reaction going forward with this new stuff that they want to do. If they keep calling fans that want to see the Snyderverse toxic and creating all this stupid narrative, because we saw this fight already with Star Wars. Solo was a huge flop because because of what they did with The Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker. It's not a good idea to create war with the fans. And they keep saying we don't want the fans to control it. But who are you making these movies for? Like, does this make any sense? The fans are the one that have love and passion. You guys are just sitting there and making stupid decisions, that things that you don't care. First and foremost, you should hire someone like Kevin Feige. You know why the Marvel Universe was first and foremost successful? Because you had someone that understands comic books, someone that had vision, you know, literally vision. But what I meant here, that guy is not only a brilliant in as far as like being an executive and all this stuff, but he understands storyline and comic books. You guys at Warner Media, Warner Brothers, whatever is going on there, clearly don't. You're just going based off, oh, this is successful, this is not. I mean, if you look at the entire Marvel Universe, not every single film was extremely successful. But still, when they managed to do their Avengers, you know, all those films were a huge hit. But at the same time, you had the smaller films and not all of them were that successful. But the problem is that Kevin Feige really understands comic books, and not only that, you can tell that this guy loves these characters, but you guys at Warner Brothers don't care about Superman or Batman, and these characters mean nothing but money to you, while the fans are here begging for good films, and we wanted, like, if you think differently, that's totally fine. Drop your comments down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts, but I just would like them to answer this one question. Why can't the Snyderverse continue and still have these other elements that they want to do? Why? If you're going to try to reboot stuff and just say this isn't canon, you're just creating an unnecessary war. You're going to have people not wanting to support your films because you don't want to, you think, I mean, you hate your fans, because that's how I'm feeling around, that you hate the fans. The people that want to pay money to watch these films, you hate them, because if we want to see something, that means we want to control it. That doesn't mean that. You should always listen to your fans. You should always try to cater to what they want to watch, you know, and that doesn't mean you can try something new, especially when you have the multiverse in your hands. That gives you the leadway to do that in different Earths, you know, even cast different characters. But it's just extremely depressing to be a DC fan, you know, because this isn't new, you know. This goes back to Christopher Reeves, all the way where you know, the donor cut was all messed up in the second film. Studios, when you don't have someone that understands the comics and the characters involved taking care of it, this is the mess that we're in. It's just a mess, one mess after the other, and it pisses me off. But anyways, that is my thought on it. Sorry if this came off as a rant, but I'm just over this kind of stuff, you know. whatever with Warner Brothers, you know, and their stupidity. I mean, anyways, guys, your comments down below. Let me know what you think. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up, subscribe for more, and I'll see you next time. Bye.